Hi everyone, it's Hannah Conda, your favourite professional runner-up, and we are back with another episode of What's Lust Got to Do With It? I really am fighting the urge to sing What's Lust Got to do with it? But I'm going to sing it, and I just did, so there we go. Welcome back everyone. I hope you are having a fantastic week with whatever you're doing, and I'm very excited to be able to permeate your ear holes again with stories of loss, love, laughter, gayness, and all around fabulosity. We have an incredible special guest coming up, and another sister from RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under, who I get to introduce to you very, very shortly. But before we get into that, as we usually do here on the pod, we dive in with my little rant. I really enjoy these little rants because it gives me a moment to dissect things that I'm seeing in the world and, trying to make sense of it all. This week, this week, it's been a long fucking time that some of the fandom of Drag Race can get very, very polarizing and nasty online. And I find it very difficult sometimes to see our community in that state because that's never what drag was meant to be. Drag was meant to push your mind into realms of thinking about things and thinking about the world in a different way and making fun of the norm, because its essence is about exploring things that are outside of the realm of what people consider mainstream. And now having this fan base, you know what, and I don't want to generalize the fans because there are some incredible fans that come out of it, and we wouldn't be here, wouldn't be able to do the pod without you. So, I don't want to isolate the fan base in any way, but I just want to encourage us all to start thinking that, the pressure that you apply to some of the artists that you see on drag reality TV shows in all of their forms, the pressure that you put on them, the criticisms, the online chatter, all of the things that go on in the online space, I think we need to cool it a little bit, kids. If you put that much pressure onto people that actually have legitimate power in this world, people in government, people in politics, the amount of change that we could make would be insane, because you are very powerful, you are very loud, you are very rambunctious, and that is amazing, and they're great qualities to have. But I think we need to start directing these comments and these critiques to the people that actually matter and that can actually make change. Because once you get out of the little bubble of the queer little world that we live in, there are so many people and so many places that are suffering and going through some really horrible things, that if we actually put our mind together and put the effort into hounding people that can actually make significant change, if we put that effort into talking to them and to making the same amount of racket that you make towards us, we could make some incredible change, kids. And I'll tell you, just because we get these platforms does not mean that we can affect change in the ways that I think you think. We are still fighting an uphill battle, especially here in Australia, of being able to be seen and be valued as equal members of the media community and the entertainment community, let alone being able to fight the bigger problems in the world. Anyway, welcome to another episode. I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to take a bit of a break, and then we're going to be back with my incredible guest that I can't wait for you to meet. Woo! All right, everyone, welcome back. And I'm very excited to introduce my very, very gorgeous, glamorous, beautiful woman on the game. It is Ivory Glaze.
Hello.
All the way from RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 3.
Episodes 1, 2, and 2.5.
Well,
2.25.
That is
if you want
quite iconic. And if you don't understand because you didn't watch the season, you're
we
not
don't
alone.
blame you.
So, Ivory, can you tell the people why you were in half an episode?
Okay, so what happened was I was in the bottom 2, unjustly so.
Rude.
I mean, it was kind of justly so, but not.
No.
I mean, in the grand scheme, I wasn't the worst. But anyway, I was in the bottom 2, and Rue was, just like this. Ivory Glaze, read a menu. Rita was the other one. It's time for you to lip sync for your life. And then I went, oh, shit, bitch, what is going on? Because you're standing there for a while,
It's
right?
a long fucking time.
And it's really stressful because it's not time lip sync for your life and go. Bitch, no, they say it and then you got to wait.
Yeah.
Because you're going to say it again or the cameras go.
Yeah,
So
they play the music to make sure the sound's okay.
And in my delusional mind, I was not meant to be in the bottom. And so I was like, what the fuck? I shouldn't be here. And I hadn't eaten because I kept getting my food orders wrong. Yeah, so I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping because I was insomniac at the time. And I was actually applying Raven's advice from that episode because that episode she did a walkthrough, which was giving everyone makeup advice. Not me and Floor though, so
Yeah,
I'll take that one.
You don't need to.
Thank
You don't
God.
need it. Look at that.
But she was giving us advice, and I was like, "How did you cope with the competition?"
Mm.
And she was like, "Oh, well, the truth is, I was just having a lot of energy drinks and a lot of cigarettes." And I was like, "Work, I'm doing that already." So I was.
That is like half of the Drag Race
That's half
Queen's
of Drag
diet.
Race. Yeah, but no one in my season smoked except for me. Yeah, so I was vaping, but I was mostly just trying to like counteract not being able to sleep and not sleeping because of all the energy drinks I had with more energy drinks. And so I was not eating, not sleeping, standing here like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? And yeah, I just felt like the whole world swirl around me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening? Am I going to fall? And if you roll back the clip, you can see me stumble forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the stage is just there.
Yeah, it's like very little. It's not like a.
And I genuinely went like, I'm about to die. I'm about to fall headfirst off this stage. I will say in my mind, I was like, that's great television.
It is so good.
No, but like falling headfirst off the stage, I'd be like, that's fierce. But then I was like, no, actually, that might be a head injury. And I kind of swirled backwards. And then you can see people catch me. But basically, yes, I pass out before the lip sync happens. I have a bit of a nap. People say it's fake. It was genuinely not fake. The sweat on my body will tell you otherwise. And
She would have never let her wig get like that.
No,
because like it was
bitch.
when you got back up and you
and it was down
and,
here.
and then you like pushed it back.
And I was like, come on, no. Because I only glue the sides. 'cause
Yeah. Well, yeah, me too. I'm not fucking around.
I'm not moving, so like,
Yeah,
I don't need to glue it that
We're
well.
moving, bitch.
So that was the biggest stunt I've ever done in my life from a performance.
So like, because I remember when you got back and you told me like, bitch, I fainted, and I was like, that is the most iconic thing.
It's pretty camp.
No one else has done that.
Well, no, not genuinely. So some girls
Yeah.
have tried apparently, and that's why everyone's like, fainted. And I was like, well, you know what? If that was a legitimate, if I was acting,
Yeah.
they would have kept me for the acting episode, the next episode.
But
They
they
would have
sent her
kept me
home.
on, but they sent me home. But yeah, so I passed out. We had to stop filming. Rue was like, for the safety of everyone, we'll resume this tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And so, yeah.
So you had to go home,
I go home.
rest, re-get into drag.
At 8 a.m., we lip synced at 8 a.m.
Did you get ready at the studio or at the hotel?
At the studio. So, like, we were there
yes,
at
it's
like
a
the Cracker Dawn.
Yeah, Cracker Sparrows. Fucking hell.
I didn't want to be there either. So, like, the
Like,
thing
just,
is,
let's get this done.
well, I was like, can I just go home? Because I already had a very traumatic first episode.
Yeah.
And this happened. And I was like, either they keep me and I'm going to kill myself next episode to up the ante, or like, I'm going to go, like, I would just want to go home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so I was saying that. And they were like, no. So they let me break one of the rules that we're not supposed to do.
What one?
They let me have another contestant in my hotel room that night. Yeah, not
Who'd
for
you
like
have?
coitus.
not
Not for coitus.
Not for cunnilingus.
No. So Gabriella, who was my
Oh,
closer-
Gabby, yeah.
because my best friend
Yeah.
of the season was Amal,
Yeah.
and I had to fucking send her
Yeah.
the first episode. They really were out to get me. So yeah, I had Gabriella come over and we had dinner, and I was like, I don't want to go tomorrow morning. And she was like, no, you have to stay. Like,
Yeah.
imagine what the fans will say if you don't show up the next morning.
Yeah, they were like, fake.
Yeah, or like some bullshit. And I was like, you know what? I'll show up. I'm going to pray to God I lose this lip sync. Not that I was ever had any chance of winning. And I'll just go home. But yeah, we had to get up so early.
Oh, I was proud.
Yeah.
I was very proud. And I do
It's about
maintain
not giving
that
up.
we need Sleeping Beauty merch from Ivory Glaze.
Yeah, I had it and I just never made it.
Well, can you just get me one?
Yeah, I
'Cause
can
I'll
make
buy
you
it from
one.
you.
We'll do a red bubble thingy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
okay,
We'll
I
figure
really
it out.
want it. And for those of you that don't know as well, Ivory is an incredible wig stylist and has done many of my wigs. Not this one, I'm sorry.
No. And I mean, I did this one, but don't zoom in.
Look at the material.
Yeah,
Look at
from a
that cloth.
distance, but up
No,
close.
you look fucking stunning. Your wigs are like exceptional.
Thank
And
you.
it's led you to doing a job now working in a wig department. In
Yeah,
theatre.
well, I'm fucking wigs and wardrobe, and I was like, girl, did you like? I don't know about that one, but I'll do it. Yeah, so I'm working on Titanic, the musical. Titanic.
Yeah.
It's coming to Sydney. We actually start previews on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of just fell into the job.
Well, that's how it always
I kind of fell into the job, and yeah, I'm working on their hair and wardrobe, just maintenance stuff. I'm not doing like all the wigs every week.
begins.
Like, still, it's a lot of fun. It's good to be working with people in the industry.
Yeah.
My boss is an ex-queen from Sydney, and so yeah,
Okay.
they're teaching me how to sew, and I'm learning like from proper people in the hair industry for like 25 years
Yeah.
on how to do things, and so it's really
Yeah.
good experience.
Did it feel nice? Because I know when when people start doing wigs and stuff in drag, like there's some people that stick and it lasts and then others that don't. But like to have this validation from people that have been in the industry for like that many years, does that make you go, fuck, I'm doing a good thing?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's crazy because even from the costume department, I was getting a lot of compliments on just how competent I am as a person. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's crazy. And like, I got the job because of Vanity to start with. So it was already
Queen
crazy.
Vanity. Thank you, Vanity.
Queen Vanity, wearing one of her hair now. But like, to get her to come to me and recommend me for that,
Yeah.
like, it feels really special to have someone of that caliber take a shining to me.
Yeah.
But like, have faith in me and like kind of see me in almost her footsteps. She like basically kind
Was
of.
this how she cut her teeth? Like she was doing.
She cut her teeth?
Yeah, it's a trend of phrase.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
'cause I saw Art Simone cut her
I'm
teeth.
teaching you now.
Have you not seen that?
No. What?
She has like a snaggle tooth and she shaved it down, bitch. She
Not the snaggle
She
tooth.
cut her teeth like she did. Yeah, so I thought.
Not the snaggle tooth.
Yeah.
But that's how she got her start. She started doing hairdressing as an apprentice and whatever, and then got into drag wigs, and then it went into theatre and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But it's I'm so glad and so proud because often with the drag race experience, especially for us down under girls, you really have to carve your own path.
Absolutely.
And I think they sell you this dream of drag race being the pinnacle of success and it opens up every door.
No.
Where in reality it doesn't.
They pay you dust here in Down
They-
Under. Honestly,
they
I've been thinking
fucking
about it. They've been paying
do.
us dust.
Yeah. And you have to make your own opportunities. And when you told me that you got this job opportunity, I was like, fucking take it. Fucking take it.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I was messaging
Oh,
you.
yeah. Oh, no, we were at the club together
Yeah,
when
and I
we
was
were
like,
out.
Take the job!
I was like, I don't know what to do because, I got offered it, but in the way of it's good for a drag queen to do. It's not that much work, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And it's okay, I'll go and have that extra meeting with them to
Yeah.
see what it's about. I got the details, 6 days a week, full-time hours plus overpay. So it's a lot of fucking hours.
She's got money.
I've got money, but it's a lot of hours. And I was like, oh, this is a lot. And I thought, well, if I do all this, then I'm going to have to stop doing
Drag.
drag.
Yeah, which is
scary, but I'm still doing it right now.
Yeah.
So
Just adds notches to your belt.
that one meeting we had, I thought it was to get more details about it, but it was actually the interview. And so when I went out that night, I had got an email saying you've got the job, and I was like, I hadn't even decided if I want to do this job yet. But it's better to be that than unemployed. So
Exactly. And there are many of us that are. So, and maybe when you become successful, you can be on the podcast too, like Ivory.
yeah, work
So get
hard,
a job.
and you can be here with Hannah. When
I'm only joking. I'm taking the absolute piss. I know it's
she'll
really
have
hard out
anyone
there.
on this
I
podcast.
will.
That's what she's
Anyone
joking about.
that wants it?
Anybody come over? I rented the studio. Somebody.
Yeah, please, for the love of God. So, what's loss got to do with it? I like to explore, being a professional runner-up, losing multiple times, lost lots of things in my life, lost my keys, lost my dignity. I say I lost my dignity, never had it to begin with. But I like to, for our listeners to know that, fundamentally we're just people like them and we go through moments. And Ivory Glaze, because I'm a professional healer, I would like to know what is something that you've lost in your life that has had a profound effect on you that you would like to talk about today.
Ooh, okay.
I know I'm going right in.
She's
deep
going right
now.
in there. I've lost a lot. I'm really good at losing. When you said I've got a podcast about losing, I went, oh, of course you called me first. Of course. I can do this. Okay, let's start with last year.
Yeah.
The Drag Race filming, airing year.
Yeah.
That was a whirlwind and a half.
Yeah, it was.
Well, obviously I lost Drag Race.
But you really won because we all remember it. And that
Yeah.
clip still comes up on my For You page.
I know, and I don't get a cent of it. It was actually a really upsetting period of time. As you can understand, actually you can't understand because you made it to the finale both times, so you could have won.
But I still lost.
You still lost, but you didn't have the bit between filming and airing where you go, oh, I've done something so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm so ashamed of how it's going to go.
Yeah, yeah.
People are going to find out and it's going to be awful. And so you sit there and you wait 6-7 months.
Yeah. And it consumes you.
It consumes you. It
Yeah.
eats you alive.
Yeah.
All I could think about was I had embarrassed, I felt really embarrassed and
Yeah.
I felt like I let a lot of people down, including yourself, because I wouldn't even have auditioned for the show without you.
I was so proud that you went and that you did it.
Thank you.
Winning or losing, I did not give a shit. It doesn't matter. I was just so proud that you put yourself out there. So carry on. I
Thank
love
you.
that. And I was not upset. I was actually very excited.
Turns out no one was upset. Actually, it was just all in my own head.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember I wasn't even going to audition. Sorry,
Yeah,
we
she
got tangents. I wasn't going to audition. I was really busy with work. There's 2 days left. I saw you again at the club.
Yeah, it's always at the
Yeah,
club.
we're always at the club. And you're like, do it. And I was like, fuck it. I'll just do it. I'll do like a really quick version of it and we'll see if it goes, it goes. But back to losing and the feeling of shame and stuff like that. I had an extra element in my mind because, and I touched on it on the show, but when I went on Drag Race, I hadn't properly told my family that one, I was doing drag, and two, I was going to be on television for it.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was always raised, get an education, get a proper stable corporate job, get a house, go die. Like, like that's kind of like all
Simple.
Yeah,
Easy.
simple. And so for me, I knew I was breaking that kind of mold. And when I was younger, I was a pretty bright child. And so I was always put up a bit in my family on like a bit of a pedestal because I was doing this and I could, the tiger mum kind of moment of like, now you go to this school and do this and look at what my child's done.
Because it's a cultural thing as
It's
well.
a cultural thing, absolutely, with like the Asian side. They're all competing with each other.
Yeah.
My mum, she's Australian born, Chinese, but got raised in Fiji and then moved back to Australia when she was like 18 for her last year of high school. So she was like, I'm not like those other Asian mums. I'm not going to make you learn violin when you're 6 years old. You're going to learn the saxophone. Like,
Just twisting it
yeah,
a
she
little
like
bit.
twisted it a little bit. I was like, you were exactly like them. So I had done well in high school, done well in uni, got a good job. And so I was like throwing it all away potentially to do this and do something that I really love and enjoy.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, when I went on the show, all I could think about is I have to do a good job so I can show them that I'm not I'm not failing. Yeah, I'm not a failure. I'm not failing. And so that's why all the spiraling was really intense because I was like, I had all that back at home to think about.
Yeah.
And so losing the show on top of, losing in general and seeing what the gays are going to think about me and quitting my job.
Fucked.
They are
gays.
fucked. Reddit. Oh,
Oh, don't
Ugh.
go there, girlfriend. That's something we can all lose and will be for the better.
I remember there was a news article years and years ago. And there was something that said like the friendliest website on the internet.
It was Reddit.
And I was like, bull fucking shit.
They need to update that.
Yeah, that one, it's not true. It is
Yeah.
not Reddit anymore, but it used to be apparently. But yeah, so I was embarrassed and I didn't want to tell my family about how I did. And then I get a text from my mum and she's looked at some YouTube spoiler video and she went, so you went home on an acting challenge. You should have gone to the classes with your sister. And I was like, first of all,
Queen.
what?
What a queen.
Why are you looking at this? And second of all, that spoiler's wrong, Mum. I went home on a sewing challenge.
For your nimble fingers.
Yeah.
So that happened.
That happened.
Yeah.
And then it aired, and that was a lot. Because also in between, you get little homosexuals coming up to you being like,
I know.
hi, second out. And I went,
Oh, I know. Fucking little
I was like, what power do you think you're getting from this right now?
Yeah.
Like, all it makes me want to do is dislike you and punch you
Yeah.
instead of like chatting to you and be like, oh, wow, you know about me going home. So, yeah.
And then we know what you did.
Yeah. We know you did.
We've seen it. We've been on Reddit. We know where you come.
We've heard the whispers in the willows.
Everybody's heard the whispers.
Yeah, we know where you've been.
We know.
But anyway, they're so foul about it.
I know. I know.
And so that was
It's not
really
cute,
annoying.
everyone.
It's not cute. Then it aired and it was received well enough. I got my screen time, so I was not mad about that. Every episode that came out, I would check Reddit and stuff to be like, do they hate me yet? Do they hate me yet?
And they never did.
Well, they never did.
And you're on many lists for people wanting you to come back.
Yeah, well, I
And
waited.
rightly so.
I waited in the trash can like Art Simone did for
Yeah,
2
and
weeks,
they-
and they
and they never knocked.
They never took me out of it. They left me there. It was surprisingly not as bad as I thought. I did do one crucial thing. I think that was really important. Was when the season aired, I turned off comments from people that don't follow me or I
Yeah.
don't follow them.
I did the same.
And
so
as-
much
and
smarter.
that protected my peace so well.
Yeah.
Like I felt so much better by doing that.
Yeah.
Anyone that is there to support you and help you and been there for that journey, they don't give a fuck where you
No,
go.
they're just so
want-
excited.
yeah, they're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And to be able to cheer for you and see you
Yeah.
do that. So yeah, it's all up in your head, but it's
It's
the voice
tough.
is strong when you're locked away in a hotel room with no one else to talk to.
Sure is.
Mhm.
Did you learn like that ability to sort of persevere? Was that like something that was instilled from family?
Well, it might have been instilled from them, but not inherited from them.
Yeah.
So I was always raised, my mum is Chinese,
Mhm.
my dad is Dutch, but he's like he's not from Australia.
Yeah.
He's still actually not a citizen, it's just PR.
Yeah.
And I was like the first boy on the Asian side,
Yeah.
first grandchild on my dad's side.
Yeah.
And like I always had to work basically. Like
Yeah.
no matter what I did as a kid, it would never be like enough for them.
Yeah.
So they're like, get a job. So I got a job. Okay, but you haven't got your license. Okay, I'll get my license. Okay, but like you haven't got this, you don't have these scores. So it was never a point of feeling satisfied from them.
There's always more to do.
Yeah, there's always more to do and there's always more to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would have
Which
been.
is great things to have.
Yeah.
Qualities. One day we'll be like, thank God.
Well, now I'm like, I always want to improve.
Mm,
That's always like the one thing I've always wanted to do in my life is always get better and better. Hair, makeup, wardrobe, drag,
Yeah.
life, whatever. Like I always want to improve and grow. And so I guess I got that from that experience, but it would have been lovely to have a good job once in a while growing up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I think, we're, as being products of our parents,
Mm.
like they're only guiding us through the lessons that they've had.
Mm.
And then they put onto us these things that they wanted for themselves, but they want us to have and be better at than what they were. And
Yeah.
like one of the things for my parents as well was like, yeah, like they were always championing me and whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, it's nice to go, you're doing good.
Yeah. Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
the
the oldest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't know what
Ooh.
the fuck they're doing with
No.
the first child.
No.
They're honestly, they're
We're-
probably
we're the
our
trial.
age now. If we had a kid pop out of us right now, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what do I do with it?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's not until you get to your second or your third, then
You're
they're
like, yeah, okay, I know what to do now. I was a guinea pig child.
Yeah.
So I always like, I wasn't allowed to use the internet until I was like 15.
That's
And then that's because they gave us the fucking laptops in year 9.
yeah.
And so I had to use the internet then.
Yeah.
And then my brother's 7 years younger than me. He's like 10 years old, just on fucking whatever, got every device possible.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
I remember distinctly like a core memory as a child. I think I was like 8 or 9. I was like really like upset with my parents. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, how come I have to go to sleep at the same time as him? And he's like 1 year old. Like, what the hell? So it was shit
the
like that.
disparity of how we are treated as siblings.
Yeah.
This is not human rights.
No.
Do you feel like, though, after all of this experience, have you lost that mindset of sort of not championing yourself? And have you found a little bit of light in your life towards that ability to go, yeah, fuck, I've done a good job?
Absolutely. I think after that like really low point,
Yeah.
I had to start going like, what have I done? I think it's a therapy trick. I haven't gone to therapy, but I studied it a little bit.
Oh, you've studied therapy, but you haven't done
No, I haven't done it.
Wild.
Psychiatry, yes, but therapy, no. But the mindfulness thing where you go and you say like, what are you appreciative of
Yeah.
each day? So when I'm feeling really low, I will just kind of like, especially when it comes to like drag and like feeling, because a lot of the time when you get off the show, you feel like you've not done enough.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything. Like you feel like I did that and then what? And so you have to kind of sit back when you're feeling a really bit depressed and down about it and go, what have I done? And then you like list off
Yeah.
the things you've done. And then it makes you like understand, oh, you know what? I am on the
On the
right
right-
track.
yeah.
And that's all you can ask to be, really.
I love celebrating.
You do.
I
You do
do.
love championing people,
Oh, I love
celebrating.
it. It's my
and,
favourite.
you would say things to me that gave me the encouragement to pursue Drag Race, blah, 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 chase these jobs. And like, I try to be supportive to other people too, because you don't know what you're saying might actually, like
Affect
how that can
someone.
affect someone and
Yeah.
help them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think absolutely this tall puppy shit that we've got
Oh.
down at so bull crap.
Like, we don't have, all have to get along.
No, absolutely. I hate some cunts, but I'm not going to say who and
Yeah,
make
and we
it
don't
known.
need to. But I would never wish ill will on them.
No,
I'll just get out of their way. Live your life.
absolutely.
Do you, boo?
You do, like, that's it. Like, I stay in my own lane most of the time, really. I'm like,
Yeah.
I go out. I'm not really in the circles in Sydney. Like,
Yeah.
I'm friends with everyone, but I'm not like,
You and me are floaters.
yeah.
We float between all the groups, and we can get along with all groups.
Yes, but I do it because I mind my own damn business. And I'm sure you do that too.
Yeah, I can't be fucked.
I
I got
there's-
enough drama at
There's
home
so
in
much
my
drama.
life.
And then gay circles? Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
I've got
Messy.
my really good group that we started drag
Your
together.
sweatshop?
Yeah, my sweatshop.
I say this because I've been over to her house and she's got everyone around the table rhinestoned in an outfit.
And then I made her do it too.
Yes, and I did do it.
Well,
I'm part of the sweatshop. sweatshop.
I gotta
please.
cash in that,
Yeah,
Asian
yeah,
heritage
yeah.
and just start up a sweatshop. Yeah, like besides them, that my really good friends, which I don't think any of them actually do frequent drag anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
say I don't think. I know that none of them do frequent drag anymore.
Yeah.
Besides that, like, I don't speak to people every day. Like, and that's also, I think, an ADHD thing.
Yeah.
Like object permanence. I have like people permanence.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
it's
interesting.
really crazy. But like, there are times where I like haven't spoken to my family in a while. I'm like, oh my god, I have a sister.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy. But because I've got a group chat with my friends and someone's messaging every day, sending a meme,
Do you have it on mute?
I have everything on mute. My phone's always on not just. They will message every day, and that's when I will respond to them. But if someone doesn't talk to me, or if I'm not in the middle, like I'll have a conversation with you. That's the end of the conversation. Like if we go part ways, like
Yeah.
in real life, I'm gonna chat and say good morning to you the next day.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't need that.
No, and so, but if we don't have a conversation in a while, I will forget that you exist. Do you find that when you're overseas, particularly when I'm like out of Sydney, that's when I'm the worst at replying
Oh,
to
yeah.
anything? I can't.
No emails. I'm not doing emails.
No.
I'm not messaging you back.
Well,
I will-
actually, you're better than me. I barely call my boyfriend
Oh,
when I'm overseas.
that's the one like
barely
Jack I'll
message him.
call because I
Yeah.
was like, I know that he needs to like have that check-in.
Oh, I'm sure my partner does too. Not in like a bad way, but like
No, but like
he'll
just-
like send
yeah.
me a message. I'll reply back.
But we're both dating like Brits though. Like
We are.
your partner's from Scotland, mine's
Yes.
from Newcastle, so they're pretty much like
Why do you say Newcastle like
neighbours.
it's another country?
well.
So he's from Newcastle.
No, but
Everybody.
they're like borders.
Are
Like,
they?
Yeah, like so Scotland's there and then Newcastle's there. They're like close.
Oh.
I find people like Jack very like he's not a talker.
Oh.
Is
okay.
Andrew a talker?
No, he's a talker.
Is he?
He like, okay, I know this is going on a podcast, so I'm just going to express it to the world. He has one thing that irks me. It's not the worst thing in the world, but he can't sit through silence. He has to talk. You know, when you're with really close friends and you're
You
going for
can-
dinner, you can
yeah.
just be silent for a little while you're
Yeah.
all eating or whatever.
Yeah.
He has to say something because he gets uncomfortable. And I'm like,
Oh,
just shut
that's
up.
so cute.
Shut up.
I feel like I'm a little bit like that.
Yeah.
I
You
like
don't
to
like
feel
being
silence.
silent?
Oh, I don't mind it, but I do generally like fill the void.
Okay.
Not in
yeah.
an uncomfortable, not out of uncomfortability, just because I like to entertain people.
Yeah, okay.
But Jack is very like he does share his feelings and stuff, but he's very like
Oh, the sharing feelings is different than like
A real
him
coach,
yapping
yeah.
to fill.
oh,
My
so
partner's the same. He won't
yeah.
share the feelings
he's
unless
British.
it's real bad or he's really drunk. So
Well, this
yeah,
is the
that's
same-
the only time I'll get that out of him.
Yeah, you got to like pull it out. What else has happened in your life? You know, we talked about losing Drag Race.
Yes, talk about losing Drag Race.
Did you lose any toys?
Oh,
Anything you like?
Not quite a toy. I don't know why I said that so excitedly, but so in the midst with all the drag stuff
Yeah.
happening as well, in June last year, which is
Just before the
just
year
before the
announcement.
announcement,
Yeah.
my mum suddenly passed away.
Yeah.
She had a brain aneurysm and she didn't make it through.
Yeah.
And so that was a bit of a shock to the system to deal with.
Mm.
So my mum had known I was on Drag Race and I had told her and she had come to terms with it and was actually kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before it all happened, she passed away suddenly. It was a bit crazy because like at the time I was still in my peak insomnia period.
Mm-hmm.
And so that night she had messaged me at like midnight. She's like, make sure you go to bed. So I was like, okay, mum. And I went to bed. And then like an hour later, she was dead. And I was like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
I mean, it rocked my world and it changed my
Yeah, of
perspective on a
course.
lot of things. But also it was happening at the exact same time as Drag Race. Like the day of her funeral was the day of the cast announcement. And then once that happened, it was like, go, go, go. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Drag Race has started. You've got to be here, do this, be this on this week, go to this city, be there, do that press event. And so I didn't have a lot of time to process what has happened.
Mm.
It actually, like, this sounds crazy, but didn't hit me properly until like holiday season, like in December. And all I can do is like tell myself, you know, life is short. If you want to take a risk, do it now while you're young. Like, just try because you don't know when you're going to go.
Exactly. Well,
you don't know.
how sudden
Yeah.
things can change. You know, I have noticed since those things have happened with Drag Race and your mum passing and everything, the way that the zest of life that you have.
Yeah, I
Like-
try my best to really just enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah. And it's actually quite inspiring
And, thank you.
to us on the outer to see you. But you utilized drag and your humor and your ability to push through and persevere to create something actually therapeutic. Because you can, like, I don't know if you can, but I'm assuming you can because you did this. Humor while healing from trauma
Absolutely.
is important.
You know how hard it is, though, for me to hold back dead mum jokes all the time? It's so hard for me. Actually, there was a video where someone was like, is anyone else struggling to raise their mum? And I like stitched it. I didn't post it. I stitched it.
saw
And I
this
had
in
the
you.
urn in my hand. I was like, it's not that hard, babes. Like, I'm doing fine.
It's just been a dream to have Ivory Glaze here today. You're an absolute sensation and a superstar. And before we wrap up, I think, a big part of loss and dealing with it in all of its forms is the acceptance. And sometimes maybe you're not at that place to accept it, or you're on the path to. If you have any advice to people. So this is your moment to
Okay.
talk down the camera to the people.
This is my advice to you if you're experiencing loss. Be delusional. That sounds silly. Just don't laugh.
That's true.
I'm being serious. Because I have adopted that mentality of being a delusional girl where everything that happens that's bad in your life has happened for a reason for you to be better later. Okay, this is the world trying to push me into this next chapter of actually not just living a mundane life and just being there every day, but actually going chasing life because you've learned that this is your like kind of wake up call. Like, life is short.
Well, that was beautiful. And I want to say huge thank you to you.
Thank you for
I love
having
you. Thank you for
me.
sharing.
You've
I've
been
got
a
to tell
vegan?
you something.
Yes.
I am your mother.
No, you're not. What? She's dead.
I couldn't do this little podcast without having you. So make sure
Thank you.
you go and check this bitch out. Ivory Glaze on the socials.
Yes.
Go check her out. And if you're around, do you do wigs internationally? Will you send them internationally?
I do. I send them everywhere.
Hit her up for good wigs. They're very
Yes.
fucking amazing. So thank you again, Ivory Glaze.
Thank you for having me,
You're a
Hannah.
dream. And we'll be back after the break. Bye. Welcome back, everybody, and this is a segment that I like to call Healing Hands, where I take some of your questions, queries, comments, concerns, and I give you my best advice. Some people have said I'm wise. Hopefully I can get a couple of quotes for my book that I want to write, because I want to be like a wise old owl. Just quotes of wisdom. It'll be a coffee table book, I think. But I'm going to dive into my Instagram and keep an eye out. I post when we're recording episodes. Let's dive in. We have Miaga. I hope I said that right. It's a lot of A's, G's, and H's in your name. What do I do with my life? Well, babes, it's a very full-on question there, and I wish I could provide you that answer, but I think we're all on a quest to figure out what we're going to do with our lives. To find better purpose in your life, I think trying different things and seeing what sticks. It's like throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks and see what works. Because, you might be doing something for a while and feel like you found your calling, and then all of a sudden it changes. I'm very lucky that drag has been something that has been stable in my life, but there's been many times I've questioned it. And I think you got to question those things. I feel like it's definitely about just exploring all those different options. And if something is interesting to you, give it a whirl. Like, I wouldn't say throw all of your money into everything, but like say, for example, photography is something you're interested in. Don't go and buy the most expensive camera right up. I would go and buy a camera, maybe a secondhand camera or loan a camera, and give it a go and see if it works. You've got to give things a little bit of time as well, because initially the uncomfortability that we have in trying something new can potentially off-put you from actually seeing the real magic in something. So, it's important that you maybe feel a bit uncomfortable and work through that to see if you like it. And if you like it, then carry on and try different things and then invest a bit more money into it and see how it goes. And if you don't like it, hopefully you haven't put yourself into debt and you can move on. You can do it, babes. You can do it, and you will figure it out. But I can't decide for you what you're going to do with your life. You need to do that for yourself. I believe in you. So Scott Australia says, I like a guy in Melbourne but live in Adelaide. What do I do? Wow. Okay. Long distance. I have learnt in the art of relationships. So I've been with my partner Jack now for about 7 years, and we had an unconventional start. Jack was on a working holiday visa and he was about to leave the country, and we kind of decided to go, full force into it, and we moved in together after 2 months or 3 months of being together, and we just went with the circumstances that we had because we wanted to be together. And, it's unconventional to some at how quickly it moved. But when you know, you know. And if there's something there to explore, why would we deny that? I think it's important to allow yourself to feel the way you want to feel. And if you're enjoying that, and the two of you, even though you're in separate cities, if you're enjoying each other's company, figure out a way to make it work. Go over and visit each other, spend some time with each other, explore that. And your dates are probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're going to be more quality and they're going to feel more valuable because you have, shorter periods of time with each other, but you will find ways to make it work. And communication is absolutely key. Talking about how you're feeling, making time to call each other and text each other when you can, and include each other in each other's day-to-day existence and life, and share those things, and you will find a way to make magic out of that. And I believe that distance will not stop love. That's going in the book. Here we go. Another one. Evelyn Paradise says, I'm a sweaty gremlin, especially in drag. What do I do to stop obsessing over my face melting? Okay, Evelyn, this is for anyone that wears makeup in any of its forms. I would say invest in a lovely setting spray. I think that's very essential. Also, priming your skin. There are a few products out there that help. I know my good sister Spanky, she had a cream that's for sports people that sweat a lot, and she uses that as a face primer, and it's helped her to stop sweating through her makeup. So, there's always those options that you can explore. I found Botox as well has helped me divert the sweating. It didn't stop the sweating. It's moved it from sweating my face to my back. So I get a really sweaty back and underarms. And that's why when everyone comes up from meet and greet, wraps their arms around me and they're like, oh, I'm like, well, hey, look, it's got to come out somewhere, and I'd rather it come out on the back. Invest in a good setting spray. There's some really good ones. There's a green marble. The Krylon setting spray is really good, and they will hold your face on. Mama, set your face, bitch. Tom says, dating in Sydney, why is it so shit? Okay, well, Tom, I can only speak on the experience of gay people, and being a gay person myself, the experiences that I have had in dating have been quite difficult. I think, especially in big cities like Sydney, like Los Angeles, like London, I've experienced people being very focused on looks and those external things that don't really make up a full human, and people sometimes get a little bit vapid, and they don't give people a chance to get to know the human there, because when you're dating someone, obviously you want to be attracted to them, but you are also dating the person and the personality, and you don't want to lock yourself into a relationship with someone that looks beautiful but is an absolute psychotic nightmare. You know what I mean? So I learnt, especially being an odd-looking boy and out of drag, I've got no hair, I'm bald, and thank God I've got Jack, and I locked him in when I did have hair. Not that hair makes a difference, but I learnt prior to meeting Jack that going on dates with people, if it's not clicking, it's not clicking. And if they are not going to give you the time of the day because of the way that you appear, I don't want that in my life anyway. I'd rather be celibate and single than have to deal with trying to, convince people to like me or see appeal in me. And then, when I started doing that, I actually started having more fulfilling relationships and more fulfilling experiences because I was proud of how I look, and confidence is sexy. It's true what Mama Ruth says. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen up in here? Because you really do need to love who you are to be able to go successfully into a relationship. Always authentically be you, and you will find someone that will want that and love that. And just remember, there is so many more people out there that are in different places, and your person might not even have arrived in Australia. They might come in on a working holiday visa, like what happened with me and Jack. You never know. So don't limit yourself. Be open to it. Don't make it your mission in life to find a partner. I hope my healing hands have settled your soul a little bit, and I hope you can take a little bit of wisdom from Arnie Old Hands. Thank you so much for listening to another incredible episode, and a huge thank you again to Ivory Glaze. Make sure you get onto Instagram and TikTok, and you can follow her and her incredible journey. But thank you, Ivory. We love you, and we'll see you again very soon with another episode of What's Lost Got to Do With It. Love you, everyone. Have a great week. Bye.